Welcome to the Wealthworthy Podcast. I'm Trisha.
I'm Darian.
Thank you for joining us. This week we'll be talking about how the rich get rich. Now, a great deal of that has to do with being able to make and keep money that you're earning. People seem to choose a vehicle for making more money and then figuring out how to diversify that in order to earn more. There are a lucky few who are able to earn their riches from inheriting the money. And then you have some people who are able to marry into wealth. But the majority of people are earning their wealth from being self-made millionaires. There are a number of ways to do this, but a great deal of people are saving and investing their money as a means to achieve millionaire status. But you can also become an executive for a company that allows you to earn profit shares or be a part of their profit sharing programs, earning stock options that allow you to earn and grow as the company gets bigger or achieves different goals. You could become an expert in your field where you're able to monetize different things, different areas in your fields by being the top go-to person for that area. You can become an entrepreneur, which is one of the most rewarding options for you, but it's also the riskiest, right? Like a number of people are failing before they are able to achieve any kind of profit on their business. So while it sounds and seems to be a great, sexy way to earn, it could also be a more risky way for you to be putting in effort without seeing immediate results. So which option makes the most sense to you on how to earn more?
I would have to say first you have to invest in you, invest time and money on yourself, improving your skills. Also come up with habits daily to gain knowledge, grow your skills. Also being able to grow your network, surround yourself around people who are at just as successful as you want to be. Being able to build a team, understanding that you're not going to be able to do this on your own. Being able to align with like-minded people. Also understand that it's a journey and it takes time. So you have to understand you're going to have to take some risks, and it's also that you need to have patience because nothing happens overnight.
Right. I think those things align with the idea of becoming an expert in your field, where if you're able to put in the time that it takes to do something better than anyone else or serve a unique niche in the market, then you're able to service the masses in order to gain that kind of expert level. So the only thing I would add to that is that it's also important to learn from others who have made it big. So getting your mind in the right place to really receive the information and learn and grow through whatever your passion is. Recently, I've been looking at some of the investment advice that Carl Icahn puts out there, and he is a financial investor who has a strong interest in a number of different companies. And he looks at just different investments that you would be able to take part in to earn money. So right now, one of the main shares that he owns is in Apple. And so being in that kind of controlling space where you're able to not dictate, but put your strong opinion on what you think the company should be doing. I feel like just watching the way that he is able to control the narrative or help massage the thoughts that the boards have on different ideas on what should be next for the company is something that we all could be doing as well, right? Where we choose a company that we're interested in and look at what the different options are for them to be successful and treat it as if it's something that we wanted to see grow as well. So like we're thinking about how to invest in ourselves, but a part of that is also trying to think as if you're already the owner, which is something that a lot of investors do because they are part owners in a lot of these public companies. And so they make it their business to learn as much as they can about them in order to make it big. And in voicing your opinion in that way, it gives you the options to see your ideas come to fruition as well. Just reading a number of different books is helpful in your journey to opening your mind up to different things. So books like Think and Grow Rich or The Richest Man in Babylon kind of give you that broad view of what you could be doing to think bigger and ensure that you're keeping enough of your money so that you have funds available to invest. So those are the big things that I would say around trying to invest in yourself with an ownership mindset. The reality is that a lot of people are earning their money from saving and investing. So regardless of what you do, in order to make it to this status, you likely have to put in hours to learn more about the field. But then if it's a passion project for you, you also need to figure out what your next steps look like. So a lot of people are putting in more than 50 hours a week in order to learn about the things that are important for them to grow their earnings. And then people are taking financial risk in order to gain this kind of wealth. So because most millionaires are going the saving and investing route, you have to make sure that you're not living beyond your means. So you have to be saving enough money to have dollars to invest. And so if you can live on 80% of your earnings or able to find ways to invest and save a good portion of what you're earning, then you can reach millionaire status in a number of years. On average, it takes people about 32 years to make it to that status by just saving and investing. Like, this is the least risky option for people to earn money, but if you stick the course, then you're able to get to that status without much issue because it's the lowest risk option. Some of the good ways to do that is to just make sure that you're investing in your 401k, right? If your company is able to give you a match, then you don't want to pass up any free money that you could be getting. And then a good rule of thumb around saving is just trying to get to your first 100,000 in savings, just to kind of prove to yourself that you're able to save and keep the funds in your account. And once you're able to do that, then you know that you're disciplined enough to continue along that path to grow that money and find ways to invest it to make it work for you. One of the other ways that we talked about is being a big company's executive, where you can earn that kind of profit sharing or stock compensation that allows you to become a millionaire or a billionaire as the company grows larger. But this is also where, if you're focused on acting as if you are already an executive of an existing company, then even if you're not the big company CEO, you can think through different things that the company could be doing, or look at it critically enough that you can decide if it's worth investing in. So ways that I would say make the most sense to me is for you to look at the activity that different companies you're interested are doing. So if you're reading different articles or you're looking at their financial information, then just trying to understand what kinds of investments would make sense for them to impact the society at large. Like, what things are they investing in terms of research and development? Are they doing things that allow them to be more, or come out with new products and services that'll help expand the business? Are they looking at different areas internationally where they can look at reaching new audiences? Like, what are they doing that could possibly allow them to expand? And if they're not doing something, what are their competitors doing that might be helpful for the companies that you're interested in to do in order to continue growing? So just having that ownership mindset, I think, is helpful in the pursuit of earning wealth. There are some industries that I think are pretty new, and people are looking at that as ways for them to earn more. So industries, of course, like tech, where 5G has become a big area that if you research and understand it, it could be something lucrative. Areas like electric vehicles, where we see different companies investing in ways to have self-driving or ways to bring an electric vehicle to the masses. And then the newest kind of thing that's been coming up is around space tourism, where you have companies like Virgin Galactic and SpaceX looking at bringing people to space for tourists or tourism reasons. So those are some interesting areas where if you understand it and do more research, you could have that kind of executive mindset in selecting companies to invest in. If you are interested in going the entrepreneurship route, then you could be looking at different ways that people have been successful in trying to make sure that you're putting in enough time to see your project or company get as far as you are hoping it will. So if you can put in the time, stick to it, and understand what the market is looking for, then it can be an area that's worth you pursuing. Because as mentioned, this is one of the most lucrative areas for people if they're able to stick to it. But if you're looking for a risk-averse way, then saving and investing your money is definitely the route that has the least risk. But you can do some combination of all of this, right? You can be your own boss in whatever job that you take on, where you have that ownership mindset. You can become an expert in whatever field you're in just by looking at and studying different areas of your industry. You can be investing in different companies so that you're building up a financial portfolio that allows you to earn money as you go along. You can look for different ways to invest the funds that you do have outside of any kind of financial instruments. So you could be looking at ways to make incremental income off something that you're already doing. Or if you were looking at investing in real estate or being in a sales kind of industry where you're able to earn that uncapped income that we've talked about in earlier episodes, you really just want to look for those different options where you can combine in order to earn more, but then be able to invest and see that money grow.
I think one other thing we have to remember is just being optimistic. I know that sounds cliche, but just believing in yourself, believing that you're going to make the right connection, and just going at it with a can-do attitude and giving it 100% each time you make your investments, or even when you're trying to save money.
Right. So you want to make sure that you're looking at ways and jobs that give you the best opportunities for growth. And then, of course, cutting your expenses where you can. So we talked about just finding things that aren't as important to you or things that you don't value as much as a means to save money. So if you don't have to spend it, don't, right? Like, don't spend more than you have to in order to gain the kind of lifestyle that you want. But think through, how can you invest in yourself? And try to ensure that you're not just working on a job for the money. So look for ways that you can find your passion projects and you won't mind putting in more hours into learning about it because it's something that's interesting to you and it's something that you think will be beneficial to others. But of course, regardless of what you do on a day-to-day basis in your current field, you want to invest wisely. So not just showing up to work, you really have to figure out how you can passively make income. And the only way to do that is to begin setting up different areas for you to do just that. So if you're going to invest in the stock market, if you're going to invest in new technologies or any kind of real estate ventures, you have to figure out what works best and if it's truly going to be worth it and what kind of effort it requires. Right now, most people who know that they won't be paying attention to the markets look at investing in index funds so that your level of effort doesn't have to be as grand. But to me, just understanding what's going on around you is useful, whether you're using the money to invest in stocks or you're using the information to help you make better decisions around your day-to-day. So I would say that we should all begin looking at building up a portfolio. So just looking at companies that we can watch and learn from so that we're learning from the people who are running these businesses, figuring out who's currently sitting on the board and what kinds of positions they are playing for these companies where they're bringing a level of expertise to whatever industries they're impacting. And then it'll help us to help find the direction that we're looking to go in. So let's focus on how we can build up a good watch list of companies that we're interested in that can help us to continue our journey of learning, growing, and investing. Anything you want to add here?
I would have to say one good thing you can use for getting started investing is Robinhood. It's something that we both use, and I've been able to be pretty successful at it. It works. You just sign up and then you refer people, and then once you refer a person, each of you get stock. But I'll make sure to put that link in the description bar when we post it.
Yeah, so Robinhood is a great tool to get commission-free stocks. So you can make trades without having to pay any commissions on it. And they just started doing fractional shares. So you can buy a fraction of a share if you're not able to purchase a $13,000 stock, right? So that's a great option to dabble in. But before investing any money into stocks, I would say to begin developing the companies that you would want to watch. You can save them kind of like how you save favorites on Robinhood or any other platform like Webull or Ameritrade, just different platforms that allow you to see the stock performances on a regular basis. You can build up that watch list. So that's a great way to just begin dabbling in investing if you haven't already. And if you're not signed up for Robinhood or Webull, then it's a great way to just get some free stock out of the deal. Darian over here has been lucky enough to gain a share of Apple. So that was a nice win for him. The rest of us, i.e. me, have gotten a lot smaller stocks, but I'll take it. It's money I didn't have before, so I'll take those shares. But definitely let's begin thinking through that. And next time we'll talk through a little bit more of what our watch list looks like so that we can have more deep conversations on what's going on in the market. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great week and talk to you next week on Wealth Worthy.
Bye.
Bye.